If you're feeling like money is tighter than maybe it should be, could you possibly be treating luxuries like everyday needs? This might be your mistake. So things like conveniences have been turned into everyday basics, and they're not. These conveniences are luxuries. All right, if you pay for your dry cleaning to get picked up and dropped off at home, that's not a basic need. It is a luxury. Even just going to the car wash. I got little like crew car wash booklets from my mom and my sister for Christmas over the years. And I have stretched those booklets so long because I don't get car washes very often. It is expensive. It is a luxury to me. It's not an everyday basic. Things like going to get your coffee at Starbucks, even going out to restaurants. These are conveniences. These are luxuries. These are not needs. Just think about like the 1950s. I'm not a historian or anything, but how often did they go to the car wash? How often did they eat out? How many services were they using for convenience? For the most part, they weren't. A lot of these things didn't even exist. We are paying to make life easier, and we got to come to terms with that. Now, when it comes to food specifically, there's food luxuries, okay? So to me, any drink aside from water is a luxury. All right, we got powder mix. I think it's Country Time, Minute Maid, Country Time. I don't know, one of the lemonades, but it's a mix. I make it myself in a pitcher of water. That's about as affordable as you can get. I still consider that a luxury on my grocery list. I need meat. I need dairy. I need, produce. I do not have to have lemonade mix. We can live without that. All right, if we were living in the Great Depression, would I buy that? No. That means it's a luxury. That means it's not a need. Certain items like snack food, cereal, do you buy your kids fruit chews? They don't actually need that. It is a luxury. Fruit chews, for example, in my household, I never buy them. I don't buy them. I don't. They're not a go-to snack because honestly, they're worthless. I'm not going to spend my money on them. But do my kids get fruit chews? Yes. You know where they get them? Birthday parties, holidays, like when they get goodie bags, Valentine's, they got some. That's fine. I don't care if they eat them. I'm not buying them. Junk food is luxury. All right. Also things that come from the like freezer aisle, pre-made meals. I mean, there's so many luxuries when it comes to food. And that's why food bills are getting so expensive. Okay, you got to turn down these luxuries and go back to the old school. Some of these food items that they used to be a treat. And like for me, my kids, fruit chews are such a treat. But a lot of you are buying them every day. Every time you go to the grocery store, you have them in your home. And when you run out, you literally go and buy more versus take a month off. You don't have to have them. All right, they don't have to be an everyday item. They can be a rare surprise. Now, some of the things I've said, there's nothing wrong with them, and I do them. I go to the car wash. Okay, my kids are allowed to eat fruit chewies, but the thing is, I don't do them often. I don't do them regularly. I don't buy them or do this experience all the time. That's the point. Luxuries are there to be enjoyed, and that's reasonable. Okay, we're allowed to have nice things. We're allowed to do nice things, but we don't get to do them every single day. And I think a lot of people have come to that point of, oh, I've had a rough week. I deserve Starbucks. No, you don't. You deserve what you earn. And if you have the money to afford it, great. But if you're struggling to pay rent, you did not deserve the Starbucks. You got to prioritize the needs over these luxuries. Turning luxuries into needs is what is completely killing your budget. Not to mention lifestyle upgrades. So are you driving a car that is newer than say 5 years old? That's a luxury. That's not a need. You can drive an 8-year-old vehicle and you will be fine. What about vacations? Are you doing simple, driving distance trips, or are you trying to go to an all-inclusive every year and you simply can't afford it? You have to live within your means and you can enjoy things on a budget. What about kids' sports? Are you paying for travel sports and private lessons? We are not in that world yet. My kids are not showing any interest, and I'm actually really okay with that. If my kids grow up and never do sports, I accept that because yes, friendships and this and that, but that is the most expensive way to make friendships. And it can cost you your family unit because one parent's at this sport with this kid and the other parent's at this sport with this kid and you spend no time together. I would rather focus on having the right family environment and creating that over prioritizing these sport friendships and relationships. So for me, sports are not a priority. If we get there, we get there, but I don't ever see travel sports entering our family life. I truly don't. What about date nights? Okay, are date nights every day, every weekend, I guess I should say, need, or are they the occasional luxury? For me, it's a luxury. That is not a basic need. It also depends. Are you hiring a babysitter and paying for a restaurant? Or do you have grandma nearby? Now, maybe you find ways to make it more affordable. Like, say me, I have a sister. Say I take her kids one night, they go on a date. Then they take our kids, we go on a date. It can make it a lot more affordable. All right, you can do all these things on a budget. Take this next category of like entertainment. So NFL football game or, basketball game, say concerts, say things with your kids, like going to like trampoline parks. You can do these things. You can't do them every single weekend, period. It's like 1 or 2 of these a year. Trampoline park, for example. We don't go there on a random Saturday. We wait for a birthday party and then we go. It's fine. I don't have to pay for it. I'm okay not paying for it. And then things like concerts. So our kids, we have taken them to some local towny type concerts that are completely free. When it comes to sports, maybe you don't go watch that NFL game in the stadium. You watch it at home and you get your jerseys out and you turn on the speakers, the surround sound, whatever you have in your home. You make popcorn, you maybe go get them some candy or make nachos and cheese, for crying out loud. Cook up some hot dogs, like make it feel like you're in the stadium without being in the stadium. All right, you can provide fun on a budget. These things cannot be every weekend expenses. We simply cannot afford these luxuries, especially with the world and the time that we are living in. These things are fun and amazing, and I'm not saying you should punish yourself and never do them. They just can't be every day, every weekend kind of events. Another huge luxury that a lot of people would not consider a luxury, but I do, is ongoing commitments. So this would be things like memberships. This would be things like subscriptions. This could be like the gym. It could be Netflix, all these type of things. If you can afford them, great. If you can't, you can't. And one big one that is an ongoing commitment would be to own a pet. If you are broke and can't make your mortgage payment, you need to not own pets. You need to quit getting pets. You cannot afford their food, litter, getting them proper like vaccinations, flea, tick, that kind of stuff. They need to be spayed or neutered. You might not be able to afford pets, and I'm really sorry, but it is a luxury in this day and age to own a pet and to properly care for it. We don't have pets, and I don't think we ever will, because I don't think we will ever see ourselves adding that line item to our budget. Somewhere along the lines, we've lost awareness of what is a need versus what is optional. You do not need to own a pet. Everybody thinks their child needs to grow up with a puppy. It's an option, and you don't have to choose it, and that's okay. If you do, that's okay too, as long as you can afford it. The problem isn't that there are luxuries in the world. Luxuries are great. The problem is we think we need them all the time. We have forgotten that they are actually a luxury, not the baseline. And like I said before, it's not about cutting out every single luxury. It's about recognizing what is a need, what is a luxury, and making intentional choices. I hope you found this video eye-opening. I've got many more on my channel with similar vibes. Check them out.